My wife stood before our church and said I asked her for an open marriage because I was attracted to men. Every word was a calculated lie. The question that haunted me for 6 months. How do you prove your truth when the person who knows you best has become your most convincing enemy? Let me take you back to September, before I knew, before everything shattered. Sunday mornings at Cornerstone Community Church feel like family. Not the kind you're born into, the kind you choose. 800 members, but somehow Pastor Gerald knows everyone's name. The sanctuary smells like coffee and old hymnals. And when Amanda leads worship, her voice carries something that makes even the cynics close their eyes. That's my wife. Was my wife. I am David Shepard, youth pastor for 7 years, married for 9. And on that particular Sunday in September, I stand in the back of the sanctuary watching Amanda on stage, her hands raised during the final song. And I think, like I've thought 1,000 times before, that I'm lucky, that we're solid. That ministry is hard, but we're doing it together. The song ends. Amanda steps down from the platform, and I reach for her hand during the closing prayer. She takes it. Her fingers are warm, familiar. When Pastor Gerald says, Amen, she squeezes once and lets go, moving toward the women gathering near the fellowship hall. I don't notice the way her hand slips from mine a beat too early. I should have. Pastor David. Sarah bounces over, 17 years old with a backpack covered in church retreat stickers. Can we talk about the mission trip fundraiser? I have ideas. I spend the next 20 minutes with the youth group kids, planning car washes and bake sales. Christopher and Emily, newly engaged, both 20-something, join us, and Christopher claps me on the shoulder. You sure you want to chaperone another retreat? He jokes. Last time you had to break up that prank war. Someone has to keep you all from burning down the camp, I say, and everyone laughs. But when I look up, I catch Mark, my friend, Deacon, Thursday night basketball regular, watching me from across the room. When our eyes meet, he looks away quickly, grabs his wife, Jennifer's hand. They leave without saying goodbye. It's nothing. Probably. That same week, Amanda schedules a women's retreat. She calls it Healing Hearts. I think she means healing hours. It's just a weekend, she says Tuesday night over dinner. Her phone is face down on the table between us. The women's ministry needs some bonding time. Gerald approved the budget. Sounds great, I tell her. What's the focus? Supporting each other through hard seasons. She pushes rice around her plate. You know, marriage struggles, life transitions, creating safe space. I nod. Sip my water. Wonder why she won't look at me when she says marriage struggles. Have we been struggling? I ask. Amanda's fork pauses. What? You said marriage struggles. Are we... It's not about us, David. Her voice is patient, too patient, like she's explaining something to a child. It's about the other women. Not everything is about us. The word us sounds strange in her mouth, like she's testing it, seeing if it still fits. I let it go. I always let it go. What I don't know, what I can't know yet, is that on Wednesday, Amanda creates a group chat. 12 women from Cornerstone. The title is simple, Healing Hearts Retreat Prayer Circle. The first message comes at 10:47 p.m. Amanda's typing indicator blinks. Then, ladies, I need to share something that I've been carrying alone for too long. I'm asking for your prayers and your discretion. David has been struggling. He came to me a few months ago with feelings he didn't know how to process. Feelings about his identity, about attraction to men that he can't reconcile with our marriage. 3 dots appear immediately. Then 5 responses in under 2 minutes. Jennifer writes, "Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. How are you holding up?" Someone named Beth. "Does Pastor Gerald know?" Amanda, "David asked me to keep this private while he works through it, but I can't carry this alone anymore. I'm trying to be supportive, trying to give him space, but I'm losing my husband, and I don't know what to do." Margaret, the church treasurer, "You are so strong. Does he want counseling?" Amanda, "I've suggested it. He's resistant, says he needs time to figure things out first. In the group chat, someone asks, "Does David know you're sharing this?" Amanda's reply comes instantly. "He asked me to find support. He knows I can't do this alone." The messages continue, prayers offered, advice given. Amanda thanks them, says she feels less alone now, says the retreat will be her lifeline. And on Thursday morning, when I'm making breakfast and Amanda comes downstairs smiling, kissing my cheek, saying, "Good morning, babe," I have no idea that 12 women in our church now believe I've confessed something I've never even thought. Friday, Mark cancels our basketball game. Again. His text comes at noon. "Rain check, man. Everything okay with you?" It's the third time in 2 weeks. I stare at the message, thumbs hovering over the keyboard. "Everything okay with me? What kind of question is that?" I type, "Yeah, all good. You okay?" 3 dots, then they disappear. Then, "Yeah, just busy. Talk soon." That night, Jennifer doesn't meet my eyes when I say hello at Bible study. She hugs Amanda for a long time, whispers something I can't hear. Amanda nods, wiping her eyes like she's been crying. When I ask Amanda about it later, she says, "Jennifer's going through something, girl stuff." "Is she okay?" I press. "It's private, David." Amanda's voice has an edge. "Not everything is your business." I want to say that Jennifer is my friend too, that we've had dinners together, prayed together, celebrated when they bought their house. But something in Amanda's tone makes me stop. On Sunday, Emily hugs me after youth group. She holds on longer than usual, her arms tight around my shoulders. When she pulls back, her eyes are shiny. "We're here for you," she whispers. "Whatever you need, you know that, right?" I have no idea what that means. Christopher catches my confusion and squeezes Emily's hand. "We just mean, ministry's hard, if you ever need to talk." "Okay," I say slowly. "Thanks." They exchange a look I don't understand. Then they leave and I'm standing alone in the youth room, wondering when everyone started treating me like I'm fragile, like they know something I don't. That week, Pastor Gerald asked to meet with me. Not unusual. We meet monthly to discuss youth ministry. But this time he closes his office door, sits heavily in his chair. "David," he says, "how are things, really?" "Fine," I say. "Youth group numbers are up. We're planning the winter retreat. Christopher and Emily are doing great as volunteer leaders." "I mean with you." Gerald folds his hands. "Personally." There's something in his voice, something careful. "I'm good," I say. "Why?" He's quiet for a moment. Then, "If you ever need to talk about anything, my door is always open." "Okay?" I wait. He doesn't elaborate. "Is there something specific?" "No, just checking in." He smiles, but it doesn't reach his eyes. "Amanda mentioned you've been stressed, working a lot." "Amanda said that?" "She's worried about you, that's all." He stands, signals the meeting is over. "Take care of yourself, David, and take care of her." I leave his office feeling like I've missed something, like there's a conversation happening that I'm not part of. When I get home, Amanda is in the kitchen. I tell her about the meeting. She barely looks up from her laptop. "I'm just worried," she says. "You've been distant lately." "Distant?" "Yeah." She closes the laptop, looks at me. "When's the last time we had a real conversation, David? When's the last time you asked me how I'm doing?" I open my mouth, close it, try to remember. "Exactly," Amanda says softly. "I'm not blaming you. I know ministry takes a lot out of you, but I'm here too. I'm your wife. And sometimes it feels like you forget that." Guilt twists in my chest. "You're right. I'm sorry. Can we do something this weekend? Just us?" "I have the women's retreat this weekend." "Right. Next weekend then." Amanda nods, stands, kisses my forehead. "Next weekend," but next weekend never comes. Tyler's text arrives at midnight on October 15th. My brother doesn't usually text this late. When my phone buzzes on the nightstand, Amanda stirs beside me but doesn't wake. I grab it, squinting at the screen. Tyler. Jess sent me something by accident. You need to see this. Now. My stomach drops. Tyler's girlfriend Jessica goes to Cornerstone. She's in the women's ministry. Oh God. Tyler. Calling you. The phone vibrates in my hand. I slip out of bed, grab a sweatshirt, walk downstairs. Answer on the third ring. Tyler? I'm sending you a screenshot. His voice is tight, angry. Jess meant to forward it to someone else. She sent it to me instead. David, what the hell is going on? My phone buzzes. I pull it away from my ear, open the message. The screenshot loads slowly. Blue text bubbles, a group chat. Healing Hearts, Retreat Prayer Circle at the top. And below that, Amanda's name, her words. I read them once, then again, then a third time, because they can't be real. David has been struggling with feelings about his identity, about attraction to men that he can't reconcile with our marriage. I'm trying to be supportive, trying to give him space, but I'm losing my husband. He asked me to keep this private while he works through it. The phone is still pressed to my ear. Tyler is saying something. I can't hear him over the ringing in my head. David, talk to me. When my voice cracks, I clear my throat. Try again. When was this sent? 3 weeks ago. There are more messages. Jess showed me. The whole group has been... He trails off, swears under his breath. Man, I don't even know what to say. Is any of this true? No. Then why would Amanda... I don't know. I'm staring at the screenshot, at my wife's words, at the lie she's told 12 women in our church, 12 women who've been treating me like I'm broken, like I'm someone who needs to be handled carefully. I have to go. David, wait. I hang up, stare at the screen, read the words 3 times. Then I drive home and ask my wife one question. Why? Amanda is in the kitchen when I come back inside. She's making tea, wearing my old seminary sweatshirt, hair pulled back. She looks up when I walk in, and her face, it's perfect. Perfect confusion, perfect concern. Babe, what's wrong? It's 1 a.m. I hold up my phone, turn it toward her, watch her eyes scan the screenshot. Nothing changes in her expression, not a flicker. Why what, David? She sets down the kettle, walks toward me. Did Tyler send you something? You told them I'm gay. My voice is flat, empty. You told the women's group that I came to you, that I'm struggling with my identity, that I asked for space in our marriage. David, why? Amanda reaches for my hand. I pull away. She flinches like I've slapped her. You're taking this out of context, she says quietly. I was venting to friends, processing my own feelings. That's what women do. We talk through things. I never said you were gay. I said you were struggling. Struggling with what? With us. Her voice rises. Then she catches herself, softens. David, come on. We haven't been okay for months. You know that. I know that. I needed support. So you made up a story about me being attracted to men? I didn't make anything up. Amanda's eyes are shiny now, tears gathering. You're distant. You barely touch me anymore. When's the last time we had sex, David? When's the last time you looked at me like you actually wanted me? The words hit like punches, because there's truth in them. We haven't been close lately. I have been working too much, but that doesn't mean I'm gay, I say. That doesn't give you the right to tell people I didn't say you were gay. Amanda's crying now, full tears, voice breaking. I said you were struggling, that you seemed conflicted, that I didn't know what to do. I'm sorry if that was wrong, but David, I've been drowning here. You're so focused on everyone else, the youth kids, the church, your ministry, and I'm here, alone, or trying to hold our marriage together while you barely notice I exist. She's good. She's so good at this, making me the villain, making me doubt what I saw, what I know is true. Amanda, the message said I came to you, that I told you, you're being paranoid. She wipes her eyes. looks at me like I'm the one who's lost. Honestly, David, this is exactly what I'm talking about. You're so in your head that you're seeing things that aren't there. I was venting to friends, that's all. And now you're accusing me of, what, lying? Trying to ruin you? Am I? Is that what I'm doing? Maybe you should talk to someone, Amanda says softly. A therapist. Gerald knows someone great. I think... She pauses, reaches for my hand again. This time I let her take it. I think maybe there's something going on with you that you can't see. And I'm worried, babe. I'm really worried. I stand there in our kitchen, holding my wife's hand, and I wonder if she's right. If I'm the one who's broken, who's seeing shadows where there's only light. Okay, I hear myself say. Okay. Amanda kisses my cheek, squeezes my hand. Come to bed. We'll figure this out in the morning. But in the morning, she's already gone. A note on the counter. Early meeting. Love you. And her phone is usually in her purse. Always in her purse. But this morning, it's not. This morning, I find it in her car, under the passenger seat, face up, unlocked. The last text is from a contact saved as R. Same time tomorrow, I miss you. Sent at 11:47 p.m. last night, while Amanda was at worship practice, while Robert Mitchell, deacon, married father of 3, Tuesday night men's accountability group regular, was supposed to be leading Bible study. My wife had been lying, but not about what I thought. I don't confront her. Not yet. Because the moment I saw that text from R, something shifted. The fog cleared, and I realized that if Amanda could lie to 12 women about me, convince them, convince Pastor Gerald, convince our friends, then confronting her would only give her time to build a better story. So I do what I should have done weeks ago. I start keeping records. Tuesday morning, I pull out the spiral notebook I use for counseling notes. Black cover. My handwriting filling page after page, dating back 2 years. Marriage therapy sessions I tried to schedule, conversations where I asked Amanda what was wrong, her responses. January 10th, 2023, scheduled counseling with Dr. Matthews, canceled 2 hours before, said she didn't think we needed it. February 3rd, 2023, asked A about distance between us. She said I was imagining problems, said we were fine. March 15th, 2023, tried to schedule date night. A said she was too tired, suggested I was being needy. April 7th, 2023, came home late from worship practice. Smelled like cologne. When I asked, she said I was paranoid. I run my finger down the dates. The pattern emerges like a photograph developing. Every time I tried to close the distance, Amanda pushed back, called me paranoid, needy, imagining things. She was preparing the narrative, making me doubt myself so that when the lie came, I'd already be too confused to fight it. My phone buzzes, a text from Christopher. Youth group tonight still on? Emily and I can lead if you need a break. I stare at the message. These kids, 26 and 24, barely adults themselves, offering to cover for me because they can sense something's wrong. If you've ever felt like you had to become a detective in your own life, investigating the person who promised to be your partner, if you've ever had to choose between your sanity and your marriage, just know you're not alone. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is trust what you see instead of what you're told to believe. I text back, I'll be there. Thanks for offering. Then I keep reading, keep documenting, keep building my case. Every girls' night Amanda mentioned in the last year fell on a Tuesday. I cross-reference my notes with my calendar. September 2023, a out with church ladies. October, girls' dinner. November, women's ministry planning. All Tuesdays, Robert Mitchell has deacon meetings every Tuesday evening in his office, alone, the church office. I drive to Cornerstone that afternoon. The building is empty. Midday Wednesday, no services, no meetings. I know the code for the side door. I've had it for 7 years. Inside, the hallways echo. I walk to the administrative wing, to the room where the security system logs are kept. We installed cameras 3 years ago after a break-in. Lobby, parking lot, office hallway, basic stuff. The logs are supposed to be reviewed monthly by the deacons. I wonder if Robert ever volunteered to review them. The log binder sits on a shelf, dusty. I flip to September, scan the entries. There, September 12th, 9:47 p.m., church office, door access, Mitchell R. I flip back, August, July, June. 47 entries over 18 months, Robert Mitchell accessing the church office after hours. And in the notes column, barely legible handwriting, probably Robert's own, some entries have a second initial. A.S. Amanda Shepard. Every Tuesday was a deacon meeting, alone in the church office with my wife. I pull out my phone, take photos of every page. My hands are shaking, but my mind is clear, cold, focused. When I leave Cornerstone, I sit in my car for 20 minutes. Can't drive yet. Can't process what I know now. Amanda didn't have an affair because our marriage was broken. She broke our marriage to hide the affair. Linda Mitchell calls me on Thursday. I don't recognize the number at first. Almost let it go to voicemail. Then something makes me answer. David? Her voice is thin, fragile. It's Linda, Robert's wife. Can we meet somewhere? I need to talk to you. We choose a coffee shop 2 towns over. Neutral ground. Somewhere neither of us will run into church members. She's already there when I arrive, sitting in a corner booth with her hands wrapped around a mug she hasn't touched. Linda is 40, a middle school teacher, mother of 3. I've known her for 7 years. We're not close, but we're friendly. Christmas parties, church picnics, the occasional double date that always felt slightly awkward. Now I know why. Thank you for coming, she says when I slide into the booth across from her. Her eyes are red, swollen. I didn't know who else to call. Tyler's girlfriend, Jessica. She told me about the screenshot, about what Amanda's been saying. Linda, I don't know what's going on with Robert, but I do. She opens her purse, pulls out folded notebook paper. 3 pages, creased and worn like she's read them 100 times. I found this in Robert's Bible study notebook 2 days ago. He doesn't know I have it. She slides the pages across the table. I don't know if I should... Read it, Linda says quietly. Please. The handwriting is Robert's, blue ink, slanted right, like he's leaning towards someone even on the page. Amanda, I know we said we wouldn't write anything down, but I can't stop thinking about last night, about how you said this is temporary, that once you and David are done, we can stop hiding. I want to believe that. I want to believe we're not just destroying 2 marriages for something that won't last. But when I'm with you, I don't feel like the man who's failing at everything else. I don't feel like the husband who can't make his wife happy, or the father who's always disappointing his kids. You make me feel seen. You make me feel like I matter. I know what we're doing is wrong. I know it started when we shouldn't have let it. The night of the leadership retreat, when everyone else was asleep and we were alone in the prayer room, I should have left. You should have stopped me, but we didn't. And now I can't stop. Even though I know David doesn't deserve this. Even though I know Linda will never forgive me. I can't stop. I love you. I know I shouldn't. I know it's selfish, but I do. R. The words blur. I read them again. Focus on one line. The night of the leadership retreat. When was this written? I ask. Look at the date. Linda's voice breaks. Top right corner. November 2021, 2 years ago. The leadership retreat was Cornerstone's annual fall event. Amanda led worship that weekend. I remember because she came home glowing, said she felt God calling her to serve more, to step deeper into ministry. She was stepping deeper into Robert Mitchell. It started the night of the leadership retreat 2 years ago. Linda reads aloud, even though I've already seen it. The same retreat where Amanda led worship, where she told everyone she felt God calling her to serve more. She wipes her eyes, takes a shaky breath. Jessica showed me the screenshot from the women's group chat about you, about Amanda saying you're struggling with... She can't finish. David, my husband has been cheating on me for 2 years with your wife. And instead of just ending her marriage like a normal person, Amanda decided to destroy your reputation first, to make sure that when the truth came out, everyone would feel sorry for her. The coffee shop around us is full of normal people having normal conversations. Someone laughs at the counter. A barista calls out a drink order, and Linda and I sit here, 2 people whose lives have been quietly demolished while everyone else kept living. We're going to get through this, Linda says quietly, not alone, but we're going to get through it. She reaches across the table, takes my hand. Hers is cold and trembling, but she holds on anyway. I have 3 kids, she whispers, and they're going to ask me why their dad doesn't live with us anymore. What do I tell them? The truth that Amanda spent 2 years hiding? I don't have an answer, but I hold her hand and we sit there together, 2 people drowning in the same wreckage, and somehow that makes it bearable. Just barely, but bearable. On Sunday, something shifts. I'm leading youth group, running through the usual routine, games, small group discussion, prayer requests, when Sarah raises her hand. She's 17, quiet, the kind of kid who thinks deeply and speaks carefully. Pastor David, she says, can I say something? Of course. She stands, looks around at the 30 kids gathered in the youth room, then at Christopher and Emily, who are helping facilitate, then back at me. I've been hearing things, Sarah says, from my mom, from other people at church, about you, about stuff you're supposedly going through. She pauses, swallows. And I just want to say, I don't believe it. The room goes quiet. Sarah, I start, but she shakes her head. No, let me finish, please. Her voice is steady now, stronger. Pastor David, you taught me that integrity means telling the truth, even when it costs you everything. You taught me that being a Christian isn't about looking good. It's about being good, even when no one's watching. You said that to me when I was struggling with whether to report my friend for cheating on a test. Remember? I nod, can't speak. If you taught me that, Sarah continues, then why would you be the one lying now? Why would you be hiding who you are and asking your wife to cover for you? That doesn't make sense. She looks around the room again. Unless we're the ones who stopped believing what we taught her. Silence. Then Christopher stands. Sarah's right. I don't know what's going on with Pastor David's personal life, and honestly, it's not our business. But I know what kind of man he is. And until he tells me differently himself, I'm standing with him. Emily stands next to Christopher, then another kid, then another. Within 30 seconds, the entire youth group is on their feet. And I'm standing at the front of the room, looking at these teenagers who somehow have more courage than most of the adults in this building, and I can't hold it together anymore. Thank you, I manage. That means thank you. After group ends, Christopher pulls me aside. Emily is with him. They exchange a look, the kind of silent communication that happens between people who know each other deeply. There's something you should hear, Christopher says quietly. He pulls out his phone. I recorded this 3 days ago. I was here late cleaning up after youth group, and I heard voices in the hallway. I thought someone was arguing, so He trails off, looks guilty. I'm sorry, I know it was wrong, but I recorded it. He plays the audio. 10 seconds, maybe less. Amanda's voice clear as crystal. We just need to keep the story straight until the divorce is final. Once David's out of the picture, no one will ask questions. Robert's voice, lower. What if someone asks? Amanda. No one will ask. They trust me. The recording stops. Christopher is watching my face. I didn't know what to do with this. Whether to tell you, whether to tell anyone. But after what Sarah said today, he pockets his phone. You're not crazy. You're not paranoid. And whatever Amanda's telling people, it's a lie. Thank you, I say, because what else is there? Emily hugs me, tight, like she's trying to physically hold me together. We're not going anywhere, she whispers. Whatever you need. They leave, and I sit in the empty youth room for a long time, listening to the building settle, thinking about 17-year-old Sarah, who understood integrity better than most of the adults around her. Thinking about Christopher, who risked social awkwardness to give me the truth. If a young person ever defended your character when adults wouldn't, if someone who had nothing to gain stood up for you anyway, you know how that feels. Like maybe you didn't fail at everything. Like maybe your life still meant something to someone. That night I can barely sleep. But I don't feel alone anymore. Friday, I find Amanda's journal. Not by accident. I'm looking for it. Because if Amanda is the kind of person who plants false narratives in group chats, she's the kind of person who documents those narratives, who builds evidence to support her version of reality. The journal is in her nightstand drawer, floral cover, purple pen. Every entry starts the same way. God, I'm struggling. I flip to a random page. February 14th, 2023, Valentine's Day. God, I'm struggling with David's distance. He barely looks at me anymore. We haven't been intimate in months, and when I try to talk to him about it, he shuts down. I don't know if he's depressed or if there's something deeper going on, something he's not telling me. I'm praying for wisdom, for strength, for the courage to love him through whatever this is. It's beautiful, heartbreaking. The words of a devoted wife trying to save her marriage. It's also completely fabricated. I pull out my counseling notes, find February 14th, 2023, read my entry, Valentine's Day, made reservations at Amanda's favorite restaurant. She canceled via text at 5 p.m., said she had a worship practice emergency. Didn't come home until after midnight. When I asked about counseling again, she said I was being dramatic. That we were fine and I needed to stop manufacturing problems. 2 versions of the same day. One written for discovery. One written for truth. I flip through Amanda's journal. Every entry is dated, detailed, designed to be found. Each one paints me as distant, troubled, struggling with something I can't name. Each one positions Amanda as the patient, suffering wife. The journal smells like her perfume. Lavender, deliberate. She wanted me to find this, wanted me to see her version of our marriage and doubt my own memory. Amanda's journal was dated February 14th, 2023. David seems so distant lately. My counseling notes from that same week. Amanda canceled again, refuses to discuss intimacy issues. I sit on our bedroom floor, surrounded by 2 competing narratives, and I realize something. She planned this, every piece, every lie. She wasn't covering up an affair. She was building an exit strategy, and I was supposed to be too broken by the time I figured it out to fight back. On Tuesday afternoon, Emily calls me. Pastor David, I'm at the church, working on the archive project for the anniversary celebration. Her voice is strange, tight. Can you come here? There's something... You need to see this. I drive to Cornerstone. Emily's in the basement, surrounded by boxes of old photos. The church archive is massive. 25 years of ministry documented in countless snapshots. Emily and 2 other volunteers have been digitizing everything for the upcoming anniversary celebration. What is it? I ask. Emily doesn't say anything, just hands me a photo. It's from the church anniversary gala. October 2021. I remember this night, Cornerstone's 25th anniversary. Formal event, speeches, dinner. Amanda wore a navy dress. I wore the one suit I actually like. The photo is from the dessert hour. Crowd shot, people mingling, and in the background, left side, Amanda. Hand on Robert Mitchell's shoulder. He's leaning in. She's laughing. The body language is intimate, familiar. The kind of touch you don't give someone unless you've given it 100 times before. October 2021, Emily says quietly. This was taken a full month before the leadership retreat. I stare at the photo. at my wife's hand, at Robert's face, at the watch on his wrist, the same watch he wears now, the one Linda bought him for their anniversary. I found 3 more. Emily shows me, different angles, same event. Amanda and Robert always near each other, never touching where the camera obviously sees them. But in the background, in the candid moments, they're a couple. The lie wasn't a cover-up. It was a 3-year plan. And I'd been her target from the beginning. "I'm sorry," Emily whispers. Her eyes are wet. "Pastor David, I'm so sorry." I can't speak. Can only stare at this photo from 3 years ago, when I thought my marriage was solid, when I believed Amanda loved me, when I had no idea that the woman sleeping next to me every night was systematically planning my destruction. "Thank you," I finally say, "for showing me." "What are you going to do?" I look at Emily, 24 years old, engaged to Christopher, still believes love is supposed to be good and people are supposed to be honest. "I'm going to tell the truth," I say, "and I'm going to let the truth do the rest." That night, I sit in my car outside our house and can't go inside yet. Can't face Amanda, knowing what I know now. Linda's voice echoes in my head. "We're going to get through this." Sarah's. "Integrity means telling the truth, even when it costs you everything." Christopher's. "You're not crazy." Emily's. "Whatever you need." I pull out my phone. Text Pastor Gerald. "Need to meet with you and the elder board. Tomorrow, if possible. I have evidence regarding Amanda and Robert Mitchell. It's urgent." His reply comes 2 minutes later. "My office, 10 a.m. I'll gather the elders." I turn off my phone, close my eyes, and for the first time in 6 months, I let myself feel the full weight of what Amanda has done. Not just the affair, not just the lies, the systematic destruction of my character, the weaponizing of my faith community, the cold, calculated cruelty of planning to annihilate someone's reputation as insurance against your own sins being discovered. Amanda didn't just betray me. She tried to erase me. But standing in the wreckage, surrounded by evidence and allies and the quiet certainty that truth is louder than lies, I realized something. She failed. Wednesday morning, 10 a.m., Pastor Gerald's office. 5 elders sit around the table, men and women I've served alongside for 7 years, Margaret, the treasurer, Frank, who leads men's ministry, Susan, who coordinates missions, Tom and David, yes, another David, who handle facilities and outreach. Pastor Gerald closes the door, sits at the head of the table, folds his hands. "David called this meeting," he says. "I think we should let him speak." I brought a folder. Inside, my counseling notes, printed screenshots of Amanda's group chat messages, photos of the security logs I took at the church, the pictures Emily found in the archive, a printed transcript of Christopher's recording, and a copy of Robert's letter, which Linda gave me permission to share. I lay them on the table one by one. Say nothing. Let the evidence speak. Margaret picks up the security logs first. Her finger traces down the entries. 47 times, she says quietly. Over 18 months, Robert Mitchell and Amanda Shepard, alone in the church office after hours, every Tuesday. Frank is reading the group chat screenshots. His face goes red. "She told them you confessed to being gay? David, this is..." "Defamation," Tom says. He's a lawyer in his day job. "This is textbook defamation." Pastor Gerald hasn't picked anything up yet. He's just staring at the pile of evidence. "How long have you known?" 3 weeks, I say, since Tyler's girlfriend accidentally forwarded me the screenshot. I've been gathering evidence since then. I wanted to be sure. I wanted to be absolutely certain before I brought this to you. Susan picks up one of the archive photos, studies it. "This is from our anniversary gala 3 years ago." She looks at me. "David, I'm so sorry. I believed her. We all did." "She's convincing," I say. My voice is flat, empty. "She's very, very good at this." Gerald finally reaches for Robert's letter, reads it in silence. When he finishes, he removes his glasses, pinches the bridge of his nose. We need to call an emergency meeting, he says quietly, and we need to ask them both to be there. The emergency meeting happens Friday night. Not a full church gathering, just leadership, 30 people, the elder board, deacon board, ministry heads, key volunteers. And at the center of the room, 2 empty chairs for Amanda and Robert. Linda is here. She sits next to me. Christopher and Emily are in the back row, present as youth ministry volunteers. Tyler drove in from 2 hours away just to be here. At 7:05 p.m., Amanda and Robert arrive together. They don't know why they've been called. Amanda is smiling, relaxed. Robert looks nervous. They sit. Pastor Gerald stands at the front. His face is grave. Thank you both for coming. We've called this meeting because serious allegations have been brought to the elder board. Allegations that require immediate attention and response. Amanda's smile falters. Allegations? About what? About you, Gerald says. And Robert, about a relationship that has been ongoing for at least 3 years. About lies you've told regarding David Shepard. About the abuse of your positions in this church to facilitate and cover up that relationship. The room goes silent. Amanda's face doesn't change, not yet, but I see the calculation behind her eyes, the quick assessment, the search for an exit strategy. I don't know what you're talking about, she says calmly. Who told you this? David did. Gerald nods to me. With evidence. Would you like to see it? Evidence of what? This is ridiculous. David and I are having marital problems, yes, but that doesn't mean I've been unfaithful. If anything, she looks at me, eyes shining with practiced tears. David, I know you're hurt. I know you're struggling. But making up stories about me and Robert isn't going to fix our marriage. I'm not making anything up, I say quietly. Gerald picks up the first piece of evidence. Let me read something. This is from the Healing Hearts Prayer Circle group chat, September 24th, 10:47 p.m. Amanda, you wrote, David has been struggling with feelings about his identity, about attraction to men that he can't reconcile with our marriage. I was venting, Amanda says quickly, to friends. That's what people do when they're going through hard times. You also wrote, Gerald continues, he asked me to keep this private while he works through it. Did David ask you to keep anything private? Our marriage struggles, yes. Did David tell you he was attracted to men? Silence. Amanda, Gerald says, did your husband confess to you that he was struggling with same-sex attraction? Not in those exact words, but yes or no? Amanda's jaw tightens. You're twisting my words. Margaret stands, holds up the security logs. 47 entries, church office door access, your name and Robert's name after hours every Tuesday for 18 months. Can you explain that? We were working on deacon board business, Robert says. His voice cracks. Ministry planning. Until midnight, Frank challenges. Every single Tuesday for a year and a half. Robert looks at Amanda. She doesn't look back. Susan holds up the anniversary photo. This is from October 2021, 3 years ago. Can you explain why you and Robert look like a couple in this photo, Amanda? That's ridiculous. We were just... Here's another. Susan places a second photo on the table, then a third. All from the same night, your body language, the way you're touching him, the way he's looking at you. Amanda stands. I don't have to listen to this. This is a witch hunt. You're taking innocent interactions and twisting them into something they're not. I've served this church faithfully for 9 years. I've led worship. I've poured my heart into ministry. And now you're going to destroy me based on some photos and David's paranoid accusations? Sit down, Pastor Gerald says. His voice isn't loud, but it's steel. Amanda sits. Gerald picks up the last piece of evidence, Robert's letter. This was found by Linda Mitchell in her husband's Bible study notebook, written by Robert to Amanda, dated November 2021. He looks at Robert. Would you like to read it aloud, or should I? Robert's face goes white. I'll read it. Gerald says. He begins, Amanda, I know we said we wouldn't write anything down, but I can't stop thinking about last night. He reads the entire letter, every word, every confession, every detail about the leadership retreat, about feeling seen, about knowing it's wrong but being unable to stop, about loving her. When Gerald finishes, no one speaks. Robert breaks first. It's true, he says. His voice is barely a whisper. All of it, the affair, the lies, everything David said. He looks at me. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You didn't deserve this. Amanda tries to leave. She stands, grabs her purse, heads for the door. Pastor Gerald's voice stops her. We're not done. You need to hear what you've destroyed. Amanda freezes, turns around. For the first time, her mask cracks. Raw anger flashes across her face. What I destroyed? You want to talk about destruction? My husband has been emotionally absent for years, buried in his ministry, caring more about other people's kids than about me. I tried to make it work. I begged him to see me. And when I finally found someone who did, you lied, Linda says. Everyone turns. Linda is standing now, shaking, but standing. You had an affair, Linda continues. Fine. People have affairs. But you didn't just have an affair, Amanda. You destroyed David's reputation. You told dozens of people he was struggling with his sexuality. You made him look unstable, confused, broken. You weaponized his faith community against him. And for what? So that when the truth came out, everyone would feel sorry for you? So that you could play the victim? Linda's voice breaks, but she doesn't stop. My children ask me why their daddy doesn't live with us anymore. They're 8, 10, and 12 years old. What should I tell them? That their father fell in love with someone else? That he chose her over them? That he and your wife destroyed 2 families because they were selfish? Amanda opens her mouth, closes it. You don't get to play victim here, Linda says. Neither of you do. Pastor Gerald stands. Robert Mitchell, you are removed from the deacon board effective immediately. We recommend that you and Linda seek counseling elsewhere, away from this congregation. Your presence here will only cause more harm. Robert nods, can't speak. Amanda Shepard, your role as worship leader is revoked. We ask that you not return to this campus unless absolutely necessary. If you and David divorce, we will help him remain part of this community. We will not help you. You can't do that, Amanda says. I've been faithful to this church. You've been faithful to nothing, Gerald says quietly, and everyone here knows it now. Frank stands, clears his throat. David, I owe you an apology. Jennifer and I believed Amanda's story. We pulled away from you. We didn't ask questions. We just believed her. I'm sorry. Margaret nods. We all are. Susan wipes her eyes. You deserved better from all of us. Christopher stands in the back row, then Emily, then Tyler, then others. One by one, people stand. Not in judgment of Amanda and Robert, though that hangs heavy in the room, but in support of me, in acknowledgement that they failed me, that they chose the comfortable lie over the uncomfortable truth. And Amanda looks around the room and finally understands. She's lost. Not just her marriage, not just her position. She's lost her community, her reputation, the carefully constructed image of the devoted wife suffering through her husband's identity crisis. It's all gone. This meeting is adjourned, Pastor Gerald says. Robert, Linda, please stay. We need to discuss logistics. Everyone else, thank you for being here. People file out slowly. Several stop to hug me, to whisper apologies, to squeeze my shoulder. Amanda leaves without looking back, and I stand there in the church multi-purpose room, surrounded by broken pieces, and feel something I haven't felt in months. Relief, not happiness, not vindication, just relief. 6 months later. The youth group retreat happens in April. 40 kids, 8 adult volunteers, 3 days at a camp 2 hours north of Cornerstone. Sarah is here, now 18 and about to graduate. Christopher and Emily lead the worship sessions. They're married now, as of February. Tyler came as a guest speaker for the guys' session, and I stand at the front of the dining hall on Friday night, looking at these kids who chose to trust me when adults wouldn't, and I feel something like peace. Before we start the session, I say, I want to thank you all. 6 months ago, this group stood up for me when I needed it most. You chose integrity over comfort. You chose truth over convenience. That's not easy at any age, but you did it anyway. Sarah raises her hand. Pastor David, can I share something? Of course. She stands, pulls a folded piece of paper from her pocket. I wrote you a letter 6 months ago, right after the whole thing with Mrs. Shepherd came out. I was too scared to give it to you then. But I think you should read it now. She walks to the front, hands me the letter, sits back down. I unfold it. Reads silently, Pastor David, I don't know if you'll ever read this, but I needed to write it anyway. You taught me that being a Christian means doing the right thing, even when it costs everything. You taught me that integrity isn't about being perfect. It's about being honest, especially when honesty hurts. I'm sorry that the adults around you forgot those lessons. I'm sorry they believed lies instead of asking questions. I'm sorry you had to go through this alone, but you're not alone anymore. And I hope you know that the things you taught us about truth, about courage, about choosing what's right over what's easy, those things mattered. They still matter. Thank you for not giving up on us. We won't give up on you. Sarah. I fold the letter carefully, put it in my pocket. Look at Sarah, who's watching me with shiny eyes. Thank you, I say. That means more than you know. The retreat continues. Games, worship, late-night conversations, normal things, good things. And for the first time in a long time, I'm just a youth pastor again. Not a scandal, not a victim, not a cautionary tale, just David Shepherd, doing the work I love, surrounded by people who chose to see the truth. Thursday night, 7 o'clock. The support group meets in the Cornerstone Community Room. 15 people, all dealing with betrayal in different forms. Infidelity, abuse, broken trust. The group started 3 months ago, and Linda and I co-lead it. Tonight, a new couple attends, late 30s, married 12 years. He cheated, she found out. They're trying to rebuild, trying to figure out if trust can be reconstructed from rubble. The hardest part, the woman says, is that everyone keeps asking if we're okay, if we're over it yet, like betrayal has an expiration date. Linda nods. People want tidy endings. They want you to forgive and move on and prove that love conquers all. But that's not how it works. So how does it work? The woman asks. Linda looks at me. I look at the group, at these people who've had their lives shattered and are slowly, painfully picking up pieces. It works like this, I say. You wake up. You choose truth over comfort. You find people who won't let you pretend everything's fine. And some days you survive. Some days you even thrive. And eventually the good days outnumber the bad ones. Does it stop hurting? The man asks. No, Linda says gently, but the hurt stops defining you. After group ends, Linda and I clean up the coffee station, stack chairs, turn off lights. Heard from Robert? I ask. Signed the divorce papers last week. Linda's voice is steady, sad, but steady. He moved to Ohio, closer to his brother. I think that's good for everyone. And Amanda, heard she's in Virginia, working at a hotel, not in ministry anymore. Linda pauses. Do you ever wonder if she thinks about what she did? Sometimes, I admit, but mostly I just hope she leaves us alone. Me too. We finish cleaning, walk out to the parking lot together. Linda's car is next to mine. Hey, she says before getting in. Thank you for doing this group with me, for not letting me go through this alone. You did the same for me, I remind her. She smiles, small, real. Found family, right? Found family, I agree. Sunday morning, my office at Cornerstone. I'm putting together notes for this week's youth session when someone knocks. Emily pokes her head in. Got a minute? Always. She comes in and Christopher follows. They're holding something wrapped in brown paper. We wanted to give you this, Emily says, for your office, as a thank you for everything. I unwrap it carefully. It's a framed photo. Christopher and Emily's wedding. February 14th, Valentine's Day. They're at the altar holding hands, laughing at something, and behind them, slightly out of focus but clearly visible, is me, officiating, smiling. You showed us what it looks like to choose integrity when love fails you, Christopher says quietly. You could have become bitter, cynical, but you didn't. And that's why we asked you to marry us. We wanted you to have this, Emily adds, so you remember that even when your marriage ended, you still get to witness love. You still get to be part of new beginnings. I run my finger over the frame. The glass is cool, smooth. The photo is beautiful. Thank you, I manage. This is, thank you. They hug me, leave. And I place the photo on my desk next to my Bible and my coffee mug and the letter Sarah gave me at the retreat. Evidence of a different kind. Not of betrayal, not of lies, of people who chose me, who stood with me, who became family when biology and marriage vows failed. I sit back in my chair, look at the photo, at Christopher and Emily's joy, at my own face in the background, tired but genuine, scarred but still capable of smiling. Amanda used to say, God sees what man hides. She was right. She just never imagined she'd be the one hiding, or that a community built on truth would be the ones who'd see. She spent 3 years constructing a lie so elaborate, so convincing that even I started to believe it. But lies need maintenance. They need constant shoring up, constant reinforcement. Truth just needs time. And in the end, time was on my side. My phone buzzes, a text from Sarah. Youth group tonight, can we do the testimony series? I want to share about what happened, about choosing truth. I text back, absolutely, see you at 6. Then I look at the wedding photo again, at the evidence of new beginnings, at proof that destruction doesn't have to be the end of the story. If betrayal ever led you to a found family, people who chose you when others walked away, who stood with you when standing alone felt impossible, I'd love to hear your story. Drop found family in the comments and tell me who showed up for you when it mattered most. Because that's the thing about truth. It doesn't just expose what's hidden. It reveals who's real. And sometimes, not always, but sometimes, the family you find in the wreckage is stronger than the one you lost in the flames. I place the photo on my desk, center it carefully, and I get back to work. Because there are kids who need a youth pastor. A community that needs healing, and a life that needs living. And I'm still here to do it.